Welcome everyone to our first meeting of 2026. It's January 26th, 5:30 p.m. Northampton Housing Authority Board of Commissioners will begin its meeting now, and we have a quorum. Will you call the roll?
I will. Chairperson Healy,
Present.
Commissioner Jones,
Here.
Commissioner Wood,
Present.
Commissioner Tarbutton Springfield,
I'm here. Thank you.
Commissioner Abrashkin,
Present.
and Commissioner Nash is not here yet.
Okay, thank you. Before we start, I just wanted to note that Jim Brooks, who was our very long-term resident commissioner, resigned once Jim Nash was appointed by the governor. I don't know if Jim will be here tonight, but I did want to say that on behalf of the board that we appreciate his many, many years of wonderful service as both a resident commissioner and as treasurer. And he also spent a great deal of time giving me a lot of history about the NHA. So thank you, Jim. And next, we only have one new board member with us at the moment, but I would like Hank, who isn't feeling that great today, but to introduce yourself, Hank, as the new board member.
Well, I was appointed by the mayor about a month ago. And prior to that, I worked for the Springfield Housing Authority as an executive director. Not a board member, though. And before that, I served as a judge in the housing court in Western Mass for 22 years. And I'm very glad to be participating in the Northampton Housing Authority. I've just got to tell you, what I know about the NHA is pretty much what I've read in the papers, except got a little bit of briefing from Patty. So I have a lot to learn, and I'm eager to do that. Thank you.
Great, thank you, and welcome. Jim Nash, are you here? I don't see you on my screen.
I
but you're
just
on
let
the
him
list.
in. Yep.
Okay.
There you are.
Hi, Jim.
Hello. Hello,
We've
Jim.
already opened the meeting and called the roll, and the secretary note that Jim Nash at 5:34 has arrived.
All
Did you
right.
call for me? I didn't say present. Oh, yes, I did. Sorry. Hello.
You
Jim.
did. It's okay. It's been a long day with the snow. Jim, we just heard from Hank. He introduced himself. Would you just introduce yourself as our new board member?
Yeah,
Just say
hi,
a little
I'm
bit.
Jim Nash, former city councilor, member of the Ward 3 Association, and I'm really thrilled to be here as part of the NHA commissioners. And I just want to do a shout out to the memory of Jerry Budger, who very much inspired me to be working with our folks in public housing. And so, yeah, I'm excited to be here.
That is wonderful. Thank you and welcome. Before we start on the agenda, I just had two comments. One is that I'm fully aware that people want more information about the separation agreement between our former executive director, Kara Leeper, and the Housing Authority. Kara resigned as of December 19th, and the agreement went into effect on December 20th. On the 21st, which was a Monday, Sharon Kimball, our acting executive director, met with the staff in person to explain that there's been a transition. She also sent out, I believe it was the following day, a letter or an email to the residents explaining.
I posted
You
something.
posted it. Okay, thank you for that. However, I know that residents want more information, and I'm actually waiting for a little more information from the attorneys who worked with us. But what I wanted to tell you is that neither party admitted any violation of the law. That was part of the agreement that we made. And that the last payments that were owed to Kara were on December 31st. And I think I'll be able to give you much more detailed financial information about that agreement in our February meeting. I hope to prepare a full report for you. I did not do it for this meeting. It may be flawed logic to some of you, but we have very urgent business we need to start the process of getting a new executive leader. And I made the decision to proceed with this very large agenda and then give you the report in the next meeting. So I hope you can all live with that. Our first item on the agenda is our report from our LTOs, our LTO leaders, and I might start with Doug Kierdorf from Forsander LTO. Doug,
Howdy,
go right ahead.
folks. We are snowed in up here out in the countryside in Forsander, and glad to be here. Welcome aboard, Hank Abrashkin, and nice to meet you at the Martin Luther King Day
It was a
the
pleasure.
other day, and we've had one meeting with Sharon Kimball. I mean, the Forsander Tenants Association board has, and we're glad to be starting a new year and with a new leaf and hope that the era of deceit and corruption is behind us. Uh, and we also, I should just, for no reason at all, mention that we sent an email today to Destiny Martinez asking to arrange a meeting with Executive Director Kimball within the next week or two. Anyway, welcome all. Hope you're all staying warm.
Thank you so much, Doug. I appreciate it. I have Cahill LTO here. Would you like to introduce yourself and give us a short report?
Yeah, I'm here right now. I'm speaking for,
Amy.
Jack Malley, who he's actually in recovery from the heart attack that he sustained. And he was actually doing some workout, shoveling snow with the car. So he isn't attending the meeting today because that's what he does. You know, he's always helping people. So, yeah, so he's just, again, recovering today. So he's actually doing very well. So there's good news there on that front. So that's why I'm here attending. We actually met the past week with Director Kimball and the attorney, and we did really well. Well, I'm very happy to say that we were able to make a lot of headway regarding our recognition and the grievance that we had. And I'm very happy to say that we were able to get through a lot of items that we had concerns about. So I'm very, very excited to work with NEJ and Acting Director Kimball. I'm not sure how long she'll be here, but I just have to say that it was, it was just so much more than we had hoped for. That's all I can say for the meeting. I guess we went forth with a grievance and we were able to get more than we expected out of the meeting. So we're just very, very happy about the meeting. And then we have a follow-up meeting this Friday with Director Kimball. So we're really excited. That's all I can say. We're really excited that we have a lot going on that we didn't have before we went to the meeting. So we're excited about the meeting coming up and that we are working towards a lot of goals that we didn't have before. So yeah, we're just, and Jack is doing well. So we're happy. So.
Thank you for that, Amy.
You're
And
welcome.
I'm
And it was
glad
nice
you
to
meet
meet you.
again with Sharon
Thank
soon.
Yes.
So,
Yes, thank you, Amy.
is there someone from McDonald House here? I don't think so. No.
Yeah, Casey lives at McDonald.
Oh,
But it's not an LTO.
There's no
Not-
LTO.
an LTO comment. We'll move to open comment in a moment.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll speak as just the public. Yeah, thanks.
Okay. All right. No one else from LTOs. Sharon, did you have anything to add about LTOs?
No,
It's-
I've had a great, like Amy said, we had a great meeting. I look forward to working with them. Doug and I were gonna get together and meet, and I thought John was here.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yes,
Salvo
yes.
didn't speak.
There are
Where
people
is
from
he?
Salvo here.
I know.
My
I'm looking.
apologies.
I think we were taken off. I just got notice that something happened under our screen.
Oh,
Probably why you can't see us.
Oh,
okay. Well, okay. Yeah, because I thought I saw you guys. You were talking to us in the beginning.
Yes, and I think that's why we're not showing up is because somebody did something to us on the
Oh, I see you
screen.
now.
I see you. I
I
see
see you
you. Yep.
now.
All
You're
right.
Okay.
there.
I
Yeah, I
got
thought
There
I
you
didn't
are.
want you guys. I didn't want you guys to miss to be able to talk.
yeah.
Would you like to report for us?
Yeah, I'd like to give you over to my vice president, Adeline Rodriguez.
Yes. During this whole thing on Monday, I got a lot of letters from the tenants, a lot of them complaining about what happened. I can read them now or I can read them later, but the tenants are not happy about what was going on Monday. They were not happy. They were very angry. They were saying stuff when everybody was sitting downstairs. And I have very unhappy tenants in this building. And they've been coming to us, telling us how they're feeling. And these are all the complaints that I've gotten.
Would you? I don't think we have the time to go through the letters, but I think you should definitely bring them into Sharon so that Sharon and the board members can see them. But would
Yes.
you just explain to the board in a couple of sentences what you're referring to that happened
Yeah.
on Monday?
The
Somewhere.
Martin Luther King party that she had, they got dog food. That's what the tenants said. They got leftover dog food and they felt like dogs. Plain and simple.
Okay, thank you. I think Sharon and I will follow up with you on that.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Any other LTO leaders here who would like to speak? No. Okay. Okay.
I
Then we,
just wanted to follow up on some Cahill real quick. The
who's
secretary
speaking, please? Who's speaking?
is Lisa Morales. I'm the secretary. I just wanted to let you know that we have some activities coming up in partnership with Northampton Neighbors. We have a computer giveaway that I've organized coming up on the 29th, and we have eight residents who will be receiving laptops and tech support in that event. And then in February, I've organized for Detective Bolduc from Northampton Police to come and have a conversation about safety. We have had an absolutely horrific, really an attempted murder in the building, and we need to address safety concerns. And in March, we intend to have our at-large and Ward 3 city council members come and talk to us. So that's just a little bit more of what's going on at Cahill.
Thank you very much, Lisa.
Sure.
Thank you. Be sure when you have issues in the building, please be sure to put it in writing and follow up with Sharon. I know that some of these issues are ongoing, but I just wanted to remind you and others to do so.
Yeah, well, having some security cameras is definitely on top of our list of discussion items.
Okay, thank you for that. Okay, moving on to public comment. Before we start public comment, I have a few comments about that. I did promise you a public comment again for this meeting, and I just wanted to ask that public comment be restricted to residents. There may be community members. You certainly can come on and comment, but please allow residents to do comments first so that we can hear from all of them. The public comment period is not required, and I did some research, and the great majority of the housing authority boards in Massachusetts do not have public comment. So I'm not saying that we will never have public comment, but we will not always have public comment. And we will have some discussion about how to do public comment for residents, but not tonight. Anyway, during public comment tonight, I ask that you restrict your comments to agenda items if you can. Give us your name and your residence. Speak to the items posted on the agenda. Please do not name other residents. Do not discuss personal details about residents. It's very counterproductive. And I just wanted to remind you that maintenance issues are issues that should go directly to Sharon Kimball. Really go in that direction. When it's in public comment, it doesn't necessarily get taken care of from tonight to the next day. It really needs to go to Sharon and the format that we've always used. You'll be restricted to 2 minutes to speak. We'll use a timer. If the speaker goes over the time, we'll remind you to finish your sentence. We reserve the right to stop the audio if the speaker refuses to abide by the 2-minute rule.
Madam Chair, I have
Yes.
a timer, and you'll hear a little musical thing, guys, for 2 minutes. So
Thank you so much, Commissioner. I think, Sharon, you might be able to, you have access to who is, if you raise your hand, if you'd like to do public comment.
Oh, I mean, I have an Ellen here. I don't know if they want to speak.
Alan?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
I am only here as an observer or guest, if you will. I live in Lenox. I'm president of the LTO in Lenox, Massachusetts. And I'm friends with Jada. Hi, Jada. And I got an invitation. So I thought, oh, I want to see that, but I'm not going to participate. Okay?
Thank you.
Just observing.
Thank you, Ellen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have a Dan B.
I'm sorry, who?
I see a name. It's Dan with a B. It says Dan B. I'm just asking if he wants to talk in the public.
Dan, did you want to speak? You need to unmute yourself.
Oh, no, thank you. I was just listening in, but thank you for having me.
Okay. I see Lisa Morales has her hand up too.
Oh, okay.
Hi, I'm a neurodiverse person and I asked for a 6-minute accommodation.
No, that will be denied. You would have to let us know before, at least 48 hours beforehand to have a 6-minute accommodation.
I'll keep that in mind. One of the projects that I've been working on is a public interest project, and that has to do with the raticide that's recently been put down at Cahill and is used at other Northampton Housing Authority buildings. We do have alternatives to this very dangerous raticide. There are over 40 communities in Massachusetts that have reduced or banned the use of this eschar raticide. We have local partners, including Wildlife Rehabilitators of Mass, Association of Mass Bird Clubs, MSPCA Angel, Rescue Franklin County Wildlife, Save the Raptors of Connecticut River and Quabbin Valley, Rescue Connecticut River Valley Wildlife, Rescue Raptors East Hampton. There is a bill in the Senate, S2721, and the House, H965, that deal with banning these raticides. And the executive director has completely denied us the opportunity to present to the board and to have a discussion about alternatives. And we'd like to bring this to the attention of the board. An agenda item that I wanted to bring your attention to is the hiring of the new executive director, which requires the input of the LTOs and non-represented tenants under 760 CMR 4.04 and General Law 121B. And we want to make sure that the tenants and LTOs are brought into the process right from the very beginning. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Lisa. Our next speaker will be KC, it looks like.
Hi, I'm KC. I've been here 6 years, and we don't have an official LTO right now. We're working on it, which is why I've been trying to get an appointment with Sharon. I thought I was working hard to do it. I've just been working on it a month, but I assume it's going to happen soon. I would rather speak with her before than have the people come and not have their ducks in a row. I did have the wonderful training that Jada turned us all on to. So that's really helped a lot. Thanks, Jada, for that. Okay, yeah, I don't know what I have, that fits into the agenda. I did want to say, I know this is a sanctuary city, and I know that there's a lot of our neighbors that are a bit concerned about ICE. I think it would behoove NHA to make a statement that people are safe. That would help. It would help me because people are constantly asking me about it. ICE is killing people with impunity. They're killing people, white people now. So people are starting to pay attention, males, females. And it doesn't mean that they're not going to get you. I think we need to be aware and be careful. Now, we are a building of elderly disabled folks. We're supposed to have, we just got a call yesterday to clear our cars for this morning. And even the plow, it didn't happen because the plows didn't get their work done, which is a bit confusing to us because we know y'all love to punish us if we don't do right. And there's other ways. Y'all know there are other ways. And I would like to speak a little bit on gardening that's coming up. It would be great if you guys are willing to speak with us about it. The two front beds were a fiasco last year when we were told if we helped with the beds, we would be paid, have something off our rent. We got soda pops. Not cool. So, yeah, the, well, no, that's not me. Okay.
That is you to
Oh,
you're
okay.
talking
Okay.
to.
All right.
Sorry.
Cool. I just want to encourage people to participate in these things and to get things straight with tenants before, people mess up and the rat poison is a mess. It's everywhere.
Thank you very much for your comments, Casey. I made
welcome.
notes of it. Thank you. I have Alex.
Hold on one second, please,
Oh,
guys.
yes, yes.
Go.
Go ahead, Alex. Unmute yourself.
Hi, I'm Alex. I just wanted to second that from the LTO of Cahill. I am concerned about the rodenticide, as Savo House is a place where hawks and eagles and other wildlife have come around, and I've had one tenant experience less amount of wildlife around. Savo House lives near the Acadia Sanctuary, so I do want us to address what we can do collectively in the Housing Authority about discouraging any form of rodenticide, as that has been found in a lot of predators, birds of prey, owls, hawks, eagles. And I'm done.
Thank you, Alex. I don't see anyone else for public comment. Is there another? Okay, I think that's it.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm a public resident. Can I say something as a resident?
go ahead. Go ahead. Usually you can't, but I will allow it.
Okay. All right. It'll be very brief. Oh, Tommy, somebody. This is just to address some of the things I've heard. For those who felt overlooked because they were not invited to the awards portion of the event, I want to offer a moment of perspective. Community recognition is not random. It reflects service, participation, and sustained commitment. I ask respectfully, have you participated in a cleanup salvo event? We've had almost 4. Have you ever helped secure supplies for volunteers? Have you spent hours picking up cigarette butts left behind in shared spaces? Have you quietly cleaned up after others who discarded used diapers improperly, work that several volunteers took on without complaint or recognition? Many of the individuals honored on Monday, Martin Luther King, are the same people who show up week after week supporting the food pantry, Grow Food Northampton, resident groups, mutual aid efforts that quite literally help put food on tables and in people's mouths. This work, often unseen and uncelebrated, is how we carry forward the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s dream. Dr. King did not speak only of justice in words, but of justice in action, service, sacrifice, dignity, and care for one another. What I witnessed at this event filled me with pride. Pride in Northampton Housing Authority, in my fellow tenants who were recognized, in the mayor and the city council members who attended, and especially the quiet, unsung angels who give their time and energy to strengthen the community. That day reminded me of why I'm proud to live in Northampton. The dream lives on when people show up, do the work, and serve, not for the applause, but because it is right. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Okay, moving on from our comment to, let's see, approval of monthly minutes. May I hear a motion to approve the monthly minutes?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, and a second? Joella. So Joella and Jeff, I heard you both raised your, yes.
Yes.
Okay. Are there any amendments or corrections to the minutes from the board members?
I just have one question. Good.
Go ahead. Yeah.
You know, in the meetings, and I think you said it this time too, that we don't always address the issues that come up. So in the December meetings, there were some things that we had talked about when people asked about certain things, and you said, well, there's a grievance procedure. And then I asked, and it was very well put out, that we get some of the grievance policies and notices in all the common areas as it is required, from my understanding. I checked on it today, in the common spaces and all properties. And so I was under the impression that was happening.
Yeah. So, Commissioner, we're speaking specifically to the minutes.
Yeah, that's
right now.
I
understand what you're doing. I totally understand, and we could address that again. But I just wanted to move off the minutes. And I just wanted to know if you had an amendment or a change to what you had said in the meeting.
The minutes are fine. I just wanted to put in if there was going to be an addendum, if that was going to be part of it, or is that something that needs to be done in the next meeting?
It won't be done in the minutes, but it'll be reflected in your comments tonight.
Thank you.
And are there any other comments? No. Okay, may I have a okay, okay, so I guess call the roll.
Chairperson Haley?
Yes.
Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Commissioner Nash?
I'm going to abstain.
Commissioner Tarbutton Springfield?
Yes.
Commissioner Wood?
Yes.
And Commissioner Abrashkin?
Oh,
he's muted.
He's muted. I believe he was going to abstain because he was
probably, yes.
Abstain, please, because I was
Thank you.
Not in the meeting.
Thank you. And Sharon, we can address this issue with the grievance forms after this meeting. Okay, thank you. Moving right along, we have no committee reports. Oh, but we'll go right into your report, Commissioner.
My report. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's see. Well, first, obviously, it was addressed already regarding the baits, the mice baits that are on the outside of Cahill building, the exterior, and in the basements where tenants have no access to. First, I just want to clarify that I never said to Lisa that she could not be heard by the board. We didn't have public comment, and we do now. And for a grievance, the grievance would first come to me and would go up the chain of command to the board if it need be. I did respond to her and told her how I felt as far as I looked into Minuteman. I contacted them. As a personal person, I love animals too. I'm not out to hurt any animals or be harmful to them. And doing research, I found that Northampton Housing Authority has been using these mice baits forever, for years. And we go through Minuteman, which is a local pest control. And, we need to do that in housing to keep control of pests, mainly mice, because they can get really bad with food kept out and etc. That being said, I mean, if the board would like to find out other ways to treat, as long as we don't end up getting mice, I have no problem for that. But everything I've done research on and talking to other housing authorities and even the city of Northampton, they use these little black baits, and they're supposed to only be such a little tiny hole that mice and rats can get into them, but dogs, cats, they can't get into those. They're not an easy, and the food is put to where it's not straight in there. It's like an L shape. It goes in and over into a lock. So they're fairly safe. Nothing can be 100% safe, but they are meant to be fairly safe. So there's that. On a good note, the public health nurse hosted a bingo during their nurses' hours this month at Salvo House, McDonald House in Tobin. She presented questions while playing bingo, and residents could win prizes that were donated by both the public health and department and the housing authority. We provided refreshments and a fun atmosphere. The residents were excited. A lot had attended, and they had a great time, and positive feedback was given. And always a reminder for residents, if you are in need of the foot care, please contact the foot nurse. Her information is always posted on the property and in the newsletters. She will come to your home and take care of your feet. Any questions, please contact one of the resident service coordinators on that. And I believe the other thing I'd like to address is there are so many complaints on people smoking inside their apartments. And I've told, when I get the complaint, I tell the tenant that is complaining that as if I see someone and I know for sure someone is smoking in their apartment, they will get a lease violation. It's very hard though to give a lease violation to a tenant that I'm not seeing it and I'm only hearing it from a second party. But I do want to let all the tenants know that are listening, you are supposed to smoke 25 feet away from the building. We have signs, we even have smoke places. You need to be diligent, you need to be respectful, that is the rule in the Northampton Housing Authority. And if I find you smoking, I will give you a lease violation because it's not acceptable. And it's very, very harmful to other tenants that have breathing problems. And it's just not allowed. So I hope that people will stop doing that. Other than that, that's all I've got to say.
Thanks, Sharon. Thanks
You're
for that. Oh, the Cahill LTO recognition. Did you want to address that again? That's on our agenda. We had talked about you.
So after, talking to the president, Amy Davis, we've concluded that they're going to get together all the items we officially need, because we don't have them all. And it's going to be for the next February, they'll get recognized. But we're meeting with them to help them gather that. We've talked about budget and other stuff. We're very excited that we're going to be able to recognize them in February.
May I say something with that, Madam Chair, regarding that?
Yes, you're recognized.
Thank you. I was in a meeting with Mass Union today, and they said they have not been officially recognized, and also to extend gratitude for you allowing them to speak, even though they haven't been, the board hasn't voted on that. So I'm glad to see that coming along. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we're moving right along to the next motion, number 2. The motion will be to authorize the acting executive director to sign any and all documents necessary to effectuate the sale of number 60 to 62 West Street, Ware, Mass, and 13 Prospect Street, Ware, Mass, to the Ware Housing Authority per the EOHLC. And I think Tom or Sharon can, I should ask actually for someone to, a first and a second, so that we can discuss it.
So moved.
Thank you, Jeff. Second. Thank you. Sharon or Tom? Can you explain?
So Tom, do you want to discuss it or you want me to just say it?
Yeah, sure. The couple years ago, we absorbed the Hampshire County Regional Housing Authority. And as part of that process, we took over all their assets, their real estate and other assets as well. The real estate consists predominantly of properties in Cummington and Huntington. And those are public housing projects that we now own, manage, and oversee. But they also own 2 parcels, one vacant parcel and one with an unoccupied building on it in Ware. And the legislation was supposed to direct those properties to the Ware Housing Authority, and it did not. So now we're trying to clean up that mistake and deed the 2 parcels to the Ware Housing Authority. EOHLC actually has those properties as Ware Housing Authority properties, and they're not. They're owned by us because we absorbed them pursuant to that legislation from a couple years ago. So this is authorizing Sharon to sign the 2 deeds. They're part of your packet that you got, the draft deeds, to sign those 2 deeds and deliver those 2 properties to the Ware Housing Authority.
Any other questions? Looks like Commissioner Tarbutton, Springfield.
Yes, if I could. I just want to make sure. Thank you, Tom. That was very helpful. I just want to make sure I'm saying it as you said it. So to clarify the record, when the Hampshire County Regional Housing Authority was dissolved, and that was what, 3 or 4 years ago, right? The Northampton Housing Authority became the temporary successor for all the properties. That's what you said. And so what happened with Ware? I mean, like now you're giving back Ware. So Ware was in like purgatory. Where was Ware?
Where was where? Well, first of all, it's not temporary, it's permanent. The Hampshire County Regional Housing Authority does not exist anymore, and we basically assumed their properties. And like I said, 2 of those properties were in Ware. It's kind of odd that Hampshire County Regional Housing Authority would have 2 properties in Ware, but they did. They also had one in South Hadley that legislatively went to the South Hadley Housing Authority, and just because of an error in the legislation, they did not include the 2 Ware properties, and direct that they go pursuant to that legislation to the Ware Housing Authority. So that's what this motion addresses.
Thank you very much. That's very clarifying. So I'll vote on this motion in the affirmative. Thank you.
Commissioner Wood.
Yeah, thanks. Just for my own clarification. So when the Hampshire Housing Authority dissolved, there had been a Ware Housing Authority, and it was not dissolved. They were historically a separate entity.
Correct. There is a
Yeah.
Ware Housing
Okay.
Authority.
Yeah. Okay. I understand. Thank you.
Commissioner Jones.
Thank you. So we don't need another piece of state legislation. We can essentially do this in-house.
So long as EOHLC, they directed us to do it, and then they're going to have to authorize it. You know what this is very much like, Commissioner Jones, is that piece of property we had up in Florence, Corticelli Street, where it's not a minimal project to get the property deeded to a third party. EOHLC ultimately has to authorize it because we're supposed to replace any property we deed out with like kind property, and we have to have EOHLC approve this, and they will.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Any other comments? No, then I will call for the roll.
Okay. Chairperson Healy.
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Commissioner Nash.
Yes.
Commissioner Tarbutton Springfield.
Yes.
Commissioner Wood.
Yes.
And Commissioner Abrashkin.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passes. Motion number 3, to accept the Mass State Property Insurance Participation Agreement, which was attached. May I have a motion? Sorry. Can someone make the motion and have a second?
I'll make that motion.
Okay.
I'll second.
Thank you. Would you explain a little bit
Yeah,
about this?
so this is just ELOC's, the state of Massachusetts, self-insured, we call it, the housing authorities calls it, that we're self-insured through the state of Massachusetts through ELOC. So they get our property insurance, they go out and bid, they pick who we're gonna have, we just pay. So they just want to, this is the terms that they have to let the board know, the chairperson signs it once it's board approved. And then we just continue. It's just noticing that you guys are aware that we get insurance through them. They go out to bid, they do all the bidding, they pick the insurance company. We don't do any of that. They do all that. And we pay the invoices when it comes in annually for it.
Okay. Oops.
Commissioner Tarbutton Springfield.
Yeah. So we do this tonight. There's no interruption in service or insurance coverage, right? Please tell me that.
Oh no, they would never do interruption in service at all for the insurance. They just need it to be brought in front of the board and be able to read it, to understand what it is. And pretty much the summary is that all public housing authorities agree on the participation in the Massachusetts state aided property insurance program. And like I said, they procure it, they do all of it. They decide annually what insurance company we're going to go through. And then I get an invoice from the insurance company, but it's all through Executive Office of Housing and Living Communities.
Thank you. Any other questions, debate? Hearing none. Sharon, will you
Do
call
the
the
roll?
roll?
Okay. Chairperson Healy,
Yes.
Commissioner Jones,
Yes.
Commissioner Nash,
Yes.
and Commissioner Tarbott Springfield,
Yes.
Commissioner Wood,
Yes.
and Commissioner Abrashkin.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, motion number 4 is, this is a motion to, excuse me, I'm sorry, that motion passed. It was adopted. Motion number 4 to authorize Chairperson Patty Healy, myself, to sign checks until the board elects a treasurer. I might say that we had a treasurer for many years who always processed the checks with the executive director and reviewed the expenses twice a week. And this is a temporary measure because we couldn't pay the bills last week and we have to pay them tomorrow. So until we have our elections, which should be in the next February meeting, this is a temporary measure so that I can be authorized to sign checks to pay our bills.
Motion to approve.
Thank you.
Yes,
Okay.
very important.
Thank you. And Joella, any questions, comment, debate?
I just want to say thank you, Patty, for taking on that responsibility.
Yeah,
Thank you.
It's not nothing.
Right.
It really isn't. Thank you, Patty.
And somebody has to think about being a treasurer in the future.
Okay. Can real quick, just on that point, that it does require a fair amount of weekly availability, correct?
Well, you'll weekly get a summary from accounts payable, Lisa Donahue. She'll go ahead and send that what is being spent. And then yes, you get, you review the expenses and sign checks, etc.
Once a week, signing checks?
It's currently twice a week, Wednesday, Friday.
Okay. No,
May,
thank you.
may I ask also, so, I mean, obviously you're authorized to sign the checks and then a treasurer, was there a third person in the past?
No, it's always been 2.
It's always been 2.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that. So I'm closing that debate and would you call the roll for
Sure.
this motion?
So Chairperson Healy.
I think I should abstain.
I think you can vote for yourself.
Can I vote on that? Okay.
Can't she, Tom? You're muted.
You're muted.
Politicians vote for themselves.
Yeah, I unmuted. Yeah, I don't think she needs to abstain. It's
Oh,
her
she
decision, but
does?
she could vote if
Okay.
she wants to.
Okay, so Commissioner Jones,
Yes.
Commissioner Nash,
Yes.
Commissioner Tarbott Springfield,
Yes.
and Commissioner Wood,
Yes.
and Commissioner Abraskin.
Yes.
Luckily, we have enough votes,
Yeah, thank you.
and it passes.
Motion passed, motion carried. Our next, number 5, the resolution to approve a resolution 2026-1 fiscal year 26 budget and fiscal year 26 executive director salary calculation that Michael Kane will present to us. He's from the accountant's office, from working with Gary DePace. To be able to speak, I just need to have someone to make the motion in a second.
So moved.
Thanks, Jeff. And
Seconded.
okay, Ben. And should we just go right into Michael Kane with the budget? And
Yeah, he'll go ahead and present.
okay.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Patty, good to see you again. Nice to meet everybody else. I work alongside Gary, and I've been a CPA for a while. I've started with Gary for about 3.5 years ago, and I'm going to present the budget tonight. Please stop me at any point in time. All right. There's a lot of information here. Some of the stuff maybe I won't be able to answer because Gary's historical knowledge might know that. We can always get back to the commissioners, but please stop me at any point in time. Sharon, can I share my screen?
Yeah, I need to figure out how to do that.
Yeah, you just got to enable it for me, please.
So let me see if I click on share. No.
Does he have to be made a host? A co-host?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think
Patty.
he has to. I think
You
if
might
I
have to
go-
just click on my like little box, Sharon, at the top on the
Yeah,
dots.
that's what
Maybe
I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm on your little box. Allow, rename, put in wait. It doesn't say anything about share. It says spotlight for, under you.
Yeah, just when I click the button, it says host disabled attendee screen sharing. So maybe you have to just open it up for everybody.
Bear with me, you guys. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I don't see. I see a shared screen where it says shared.
That might be to share your screen.
I welcome anybody who might know the answer to this to offer your.
It says C, huh? Does anyone know? Because I can make you a host.
Sharon, can you just make me a host?
I can.
Yeah, I think if you make me a host, I'll
Okay, let me go under you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, you should be right now.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
It may be easier that way.
Yeah.
Okay, can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
I can.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Great. Okay. So let's first start off with, we're going to go through the 400-C program. Just please note, all the commissioners, you're going to need to sign off and approve each budget for each state program. We'll go through those entirely through this. And then from there, the chair, Patty, you're going to have to sign the executive director's calculation, and we'll get into that. A couple things to note on what Sharon was talking about for the insurance. The insurance program is through Brown & Brown. That's the carrier the state has provided. And one thing that's interesting about this year's premiums with Brown & Brown for all the state local housing authorities is the premium actually went up 0% this year, which is kind of unheard of. 2 years ago, it went up 33%. Last year, I think it went up about 8 or 9%. So this year it was 0%. We like to see that, obviously, because it means we have more money for our budget. So 400-C program is the combined of 667, 705, and any 200 units. Overall revenue, line 3,000 here, we anticipate about $4.8 million of revenue. Coming from that in the 3801 account is how much subsidy are we going to request from EOHLC? And that's a $2,228,463. We anticipate total rent to be about $2.3 million. We'll go into detail on more of these line items. This is obviously just a summary page, but total expenditures for the 400-C program is $4,744,592. We are going to replace some equipment of $54,000, which is going to show about a small surplus of $2,871 in this program. The big thing to note on this program is, where does the operating reserve stand in relation to what EOHLC requires? And we'll get into that in a couple pages. Any questions so far?
No.
Perfect.
I have a question, but not about what you just said.
Is your question
Is it about the budget?
Yes, of course.
What's your question?
My question to you is, I have anxiety with this. You give it very, very tiny. How can I see this? I had to extrapolate all weekend long, extrapolate this and put it on the Excel worksheet, and then I could put it in different colors and why is it like this? Why is it so small that I need a magnifying glass to go through this?
Well, I wish we could get it bigger. The big problem is obviously it has to fit to one sheet in Excel, and this is how EOHLC prepares. And this is what is a mirror image of EOHLC's budget request in their HAFA system.
Well, I'd like to show you, if we get a chance, I don't want to take too much time with this. I'd like to show you what I did. I color coded and everything. So I just, on any level, this is for somebody who's an actuary. Look at this, da, 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 da. I'm a board member and I would like to know what is going on. I'd like it laid out. I'd like the presentation. And this is, if you're saying this is just standard, then do you not want my vote on this? Because I did it and I'm not a financial wizardry on any level whatsoever. And it just, I get all these numbers and I'm always asking. I'm signed up for a class with Mel King and I missed the other one. So we can go over these figures. I get very anxious when it's presented. I admit there are people here on the board who this is their thing, but not mine. And this is so absolutely important to me. So I asked you, if you're going to be here, think about that. You could extrapolate it and put an Excel worksheet just like I did. So it's easier for us to read.
Yeah, so Commissioner, we obviously have Excel work papers. So if the request is your request is to have a copy of our Excel work papers, the actual Excel document, so then you can click on each tab and zoom in Excel. That's obviously very easy to do. So, but for obviously this presentation to print it out and put it on a piece of paper to a PDF file to send out to the board, it has to unfortunately appear like this. I think does that help?
It sounds like it should. Commissioner, maybe we should talk before our next budget presentation and figure out a way to resolve this for you because you've brought it up before. So you and I should talk.
And we had committee meetings. We don't have committees with this. You're presenting this to me. I know you're very, and Gary DePace, I know you know all this stuff, but convince me. Don't say, oh, you don't know this, you don't know math. Convince me. Make this look like where I can see it and understand it. So I would appreciate it if we could work on that.
I don't think anybody's saying you don't know math or you don't know the figures.
Well, I don't. I'm telling you the truth.
Yeah.
Commissioner Wood has his hand raised. Commissioner Wood, do you have your hand raised?
Yeah, I do. Thanks. Thanks, Patty. So I think when we talked about this last time, I made the suggestion, and I hope that we could do something a little bit different in the future too. I agree with Joella. Maybe a solution is to create a PowerPoint presentation where we're getting, as board members, commissioners, some more distilled information with the important points summarized and highlighted and emphasized, that we can then go back to the detailed spreadsheet if we have really like more granular specific questions. But I would find it helpful, like just to have a presentation where we're getting like some of the real key points a little bit more digestible. So that would be a suggestion moving forward.
Thank you. Michael, did you want to respond or continue?
Like I said, I'm gonna go through this page by page. So I think hopefully this is helpful. And like I said, at any point in time, stop me with any questions on each program. Next page of the budget is just really our unit count for NHA. Not really too much to note here. Obviously, once again, 200 program, 667, and the 705 program rolls up to the 400-C program. So all three of those are inside the 400-C program. Page 3. Page 3 is our subsidy calculation for the 400-C program. The allowable increase this year by EOHLC was 5%. Last year was 12%. We got 5%. So the total amount of those expenditures, not including the utilities, is $3,105,536. We are requesting, like we always do every single year, the retiree health insurance cost exemption. That is the $57,336. That is the exemption / an offset to all the prior Northampton retirees, all their health insurance bills that come through Group Insurance Commission.
That's correct. For 6, yeah.
Next is we obviously have 2 different RSC grants, $60,000 each for the RSC coordinator. A-ships are the mini splits. Air source heat pumps, we get a $300 direct exemption per unit that NHA has at the Housing Authority. That amounts $68,700. And then finally, we get legal fees of an additional $10,000. So our total subsidy, like I mentioned a couple pages, is the $2.2 million that we're going to be requesting from EOHLC for this program.
I have a question.
Yeah.
What does this mean, legal fees exempted and budgeted by EOHLC? Like what?
Sharon, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that there's an exemption for
There was an exemption for 10,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that typical or?
No, the state offered it.
Okay. All right.
They offered the first 10,000 of the expenses.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
You're welcome. And Sharon, can you please help me out with obviously the salaries page? I know you worked with it directly with Gary. One thing I want to mention before Sharon just comments on all the salaries is, please remember this is a budget. We don't know what's going to happen 6 months, 3 months from now with the executive director's position. So for the time being, Gary and Sharon came up where we are listing half the maximum of the executive director's salary. We'll go into the executive director's salary calculation in a few more minutes, but we're listing it as half, basically saying in this budget, we anticipate by the time the ad gets placed, the meetings happen, right? You find somebody that'll be maybe around May or June timeframe. If that's wrong, either way, if it's earlier or if it's later, we're always going to be able to do a budget revision to correct whatever it needs to happen for this position at NHA. Yeah, and any other like main comments on the salaries for the board?
I do have a question, and I don't know where you put it. I don't know if it's under administrative this or administrative that, but I would like some concrete numbers. How much did we pay the executive director during the 9 to 10 months that they were on paid leave? How much, if any, auto expenses, tickets, anything that came, mechanics, gas, how much did we pay just on that alone? I'm not asking about the packet that came out because I don't know if I'll ever get that, but I don't see where it says that here. And I'd like to know those figures.
This is a budget. That's why it doesn't say it here.
Yeah, Commissioner, yeah. This is for obviously fiscal year 26, and then obviously those are line items that Sharon, I'm not even sure, would Lisa be able to get a hold of that? Or obviously we paid, to my understanding, Kara's full salary while she was out.
Yes.
Full salary until the contract ended, or full salary for the year?
Commissioner, I hope to have those figures for next February, those that I can get, including, so you'll have a total amount.
Okay. One other thing.
I don't know if I can get, every little detail, if it can be broken down, but I do hope to do that because it's public information.
I think I'm losing power here. Oops. Okay. Sorry. So do you have the search for it? Where do you have search for executive director? Because I know that PHN says, let's go and broaden the search to people of color, or to broaden that. And I didn't know if you factored into that, or is that just something that they'll have to find out about this and how much that costs?
It would be under the budget line of admin other under the 4190, which is a couple other
admin other.
And
correct.
Commissioner, I did discuss this with Sharon Kimball, and I'll address it later as well.
Okay, Sharon, anything else to note on kind of maintenance or admin salaries? Obviously, the budget will allow a 3% increase for all total admin and total maintenance personnel outside of the executive director. The executive director's position can only be increased by 2%.
Well, maintenance is actually a contract, union contract. So,
Sorry, yes.
Yes, I just wanted to make sure it's clear.
Okay, the next page is just a schedule of insurance and employee benefits. Once again, we anticipate about $184,000 for the property insurance for the state program, the workers' comp, 105, the autos about 18.5, hard, which is for the federal properties, 32.5 and 51.5. The biggest thing to really note on this schedule is the two biggest line items I always discuss with boards are really the retirement fund, the annual appropriation. We have that about $475,000. And then what is the group insurance commission, which includes the retirees' benefits that Northampton must pay. We anticipate about $465,000. So those are the really two big line items there.
I have a question on
Yes, Patty.
Have you seen a substantial increase in the GIC cost? Is that something that
so let's, when you say substantial, how large is your substantial?
Well, is it, I guess the going rate right now has been like 12 to 14%.
Yeah, I would say it's probably around 8 or 10.
Oh, okay.
8 or 10. That's what we kind of factor in at the moment.
Okay.
I do have a question, and
yes,
I don't
Commissioner.
know what it is. Where is money, and how much money is designated for professional development? I was always told in NHA it was $12,500 for board for conferences and conventions and all that stuff. And then I hear you keep saying something about the is it the laundry fund? And I'm not quite sure exactly where all that is, but where is it? Because I'm thinking in the future now for tenants, residents to be able to have events. So it's not on the individual to do this. Where is that? How do I look at that?
Sure. We'll go over in a couple pages. We'll get there. It's about probably maybe 10 more pages. Any questions on benefits, insurance, and then utilities? Please note we estimated utilities. Utilities are fully reimbursed through our subsidy calculation with EOHLC. So next page is schedule of non-routine expenditures. We anticipate, Sharon, maybe you can go in a little more detail about these two projects, but there's going to be a flooring project that we estimate of $140,000 for the 400-C. And then for the O26 program, which is the federal program in Florence Heights, we are estimating about $600,000 for siding project.
So on the flooring project, we try to add turnover. We've been noticing, obviously, all of the apartments are aging a lot. So at turnover, we're finding we have to actually replace the floor. We can't be able, some of them we can sand down, we can do other things. But if it's not a wood floor, if it's carpet, if it's something like that, we've been completely replacing it. And so that's why we budgeted that large amount for that, to make sure that we had that. And these would be the Florence Heights supplement project, the siding project. We did the project on that. We started it last summer. That all the new siding is being put up at the Florence Heights project right now. And I believe there were some issues with some, so we budgeted money there to make sure that we had enough.
And just please remember, all commissioners, these are extraordinary maintenance that we listed, right? So if the flooring project, we only spend $100,000, then $40,000 will go back to the operating reserves, right? So these are just budgeted numbers. Two things that we are going to replace replace some equipment. We're going to replace the van. We anticipate that to be about $48,000, and then the tailgate for, I'm guessing, the Ford F-250, $6,000. Finally, we always just list some appliances as needed
every year.
NHA, and we list $75,000. Same thing for this budgeted line item. If we spend $50,000, then $25,000 goes back into the operating reserve at year end when we close the books. Any questions on the non-routine expenditures?
Well, I'm going to be done with this asking questions. Where in this do you have something for? I've never seen it. what is it? Wear and tear of fixing apartments. I've been here 10 years and never been repaired. Most people, they have to repair it themselves. So, and there are a lot of people who need a lot of stuff. I'm talking one building. So where is that?
That's under contract costs. It's a couple more pages, what we
Oh,
anticipate
okay.
for contract costs.
So it's been budgeted.
It's
We have
always
budgeted
contract
line
costs
item for
that we're
contract
doing.
costs, correct.
Throughout the whole year, we're constantly doing work orders to fix things.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
So this is probably the most important page of the budget for the 400-C program. EOHLC requires a minimum and maximum of operating reserve. And on this page, we anticipate, once again, a small surplus, which we noted on the first page going over this. But where does our operating reserves really stand at the end of the year? We are going to be around the $1.77 million. And what does that mean of a percentage of maximum for EOHLC guidelines? That means we're going to be right around 75%, which is a really good number to be at. Sharon, I don't know in the past what have the operating reserves been? I'm assuming
our
they're
operating
lower.
reserves are always really good.
Right.
I mean,
right. Yeah.
yeah.
So as you can see, one thing to note as the operating reserve goes higher and higher, if we go over 100%, then we're going to lose subsidy. So we never want to do that. And then obviously one other thing too is as the operating reserve starts creeping up a little bit higher, sometimes EOHLC or CapHub may make NHA pay some of the larger projects out of their operating reserve because their operating reserve is so strong. But 75% is a really good number to be at.
Question.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this operating reserve is cash that we have on hand should we need it for a particular project.
So think of the operating reserve as if EOHLC all of a sudden gets into an issue and cannot give Northampton Housing Authority subsidy for 8 months, let's say, do they have enough operating reserve balance to pay their bills for like 6 months without subsidy? That's what's really to think about it. So
it's savings on hand should we need it for some sort of financial event.
You got it. Right. And EOHLC basically says, hey, what's the 50% of total expenditures in this budget? And that's 2.3 million. And then that's where we base our calculation off. They basically say the maximum you should have on hand is 50% of your total expenses budgeted for this budget. And that's the 2.37. And then once again, we're going to be at the 1.77, which means we're going to be at 75%.
Okay.
Does that answer your question, Mr. Nash?
Yes.
Great. Any questions on the 400-C program? Final questions. We'll get into obviously some details of the 400-C of contract costs, admin, training, and a couple more pages. The next program is the 689-C program. And Sharon, I don't know if you can just for my knowledge, what property is that?
So 689 has to do with Bridge, Grace House, all of those.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so we anticipate, once again, kind of a small budget. We anticipate $104,000 from DDS. I'm assuming you get, Sharon, DDS money, correct?
Yes.
Yep. A little bit of interest, a little bit of other income. So total revenue for this program is only the $112,250. We anticipate total expenditures to be $130,813 with a deficit of about $19,000. We'll go into their operating schedule in 1 minute if I can find it. And please note, one thing to note on a 689 program, there's really no minimum or maximum requirements for EOHLC. Okay, even though we use the same form here, please note, really at the end of this budgeted year, even with this deficit, we are still going to be at $48,251 for their operating budget for this fiscal year at the end of June 30th. Very small program. Any questions on the 689? Okay. Next one, even smaller program. MRVP. which is Mass Rental Voucher Program. It's basically Massachusetts Section 8 program. The Northampton Housing Authority manages 10 vouchers. Those 10 vouchers, Northampton Housing Authority gets $55 per voucher per month. So we anticipate $6,600 of total revenue for the admin fees for administering this program. Small amount of interest. We get subsidy from EOHLC to pay the landlords. We anticipate that to be about $120,000. Total revenue is $126,615 for this project. Total expenditures is $127,306. Once again, a little very small deficit of $691. Same thing as the 689 program. There is no minimum or maximum reserve for this program. With this small deficit, we had about $3,122 coming into the year. Small deficit is $691. We're still going to have a positive operating reserve at the end of the year for $2,431.
Okay.
Any questions on the MRV program? Very small program. Okay. So this schedule is, once again, our schedule of legal, members' compensation, travel, and any training. And Sharon, please correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe we upped some of the training stuff this year, correct?
Yes, I wanted to up the training because I think all staff needs training. And
correct. So Commissioner Tarbell in Springfield, we have anticipated about $25,000 for training, sitting right here. On top of that, we have for travel another $18,000 for any Mass Narrow Spring Conference, any other commissioner training, other travel in regards to NHA.
That's impressive. Do you also put that in there for the tenants or the LTOs?
No.
That's separate, I believe.
Yeah, they get it separately.
I believe
separate
right.
budget.
I believe they would have it on their budget.
They
Correct.
have a budget, yes, annually.
Okay. From there, one of the other questions was, what do we anticipate for contract costs? Right, for total contract costs for all programs, we anticipate about $995,000 for contract costs, whether that's the truck, lawn maintenance, exterminator, the alarm service, the rubbish removal, which obviously is a huge line item, any snow remover or sanding for outside subcontractors, boiler maintenance, and then miscellaneous contractors to do those work orders if the staff can't do it, about $440,000 across all programs.
I have a question. Didn't we just get new rubbish people? What do you call it? New trash cans? Didn't we do this when Manville was here?
We went out to bid. Yes, we went. Pete went out to bid, and we have a contract. Yes, and we got their new trash stuff. They're not ours to own. They come from the ones that we did the bid with.
I do have a question.
Sure.
I see that we don't have a contract with any security at all, but I know that we did some security.
Liberty.
We have security that comes to
Salvo
twice a week at Salvo.
So
we would also have a police detail too. How much do we pay for that?
I'd have to look at it. It's all in the 4190, which is not broken out like the contract cost is here. 4190 carries a huge load of expenses.
I see.
That are more considered administrative versus maintenance. This is maintenance stuff.
I see. Okay, I'm sorry about that.
No, you're fine. It's very strange to me sometimes is that their EOHLC is very granular in some accounts, and then we have an account called Admin Other, which is basically a slush fund for everything admin that's not related to one of the other accounts that they have on the budget, and just a lot of stuff gets thrown there, like including the police detail, like Sharon mentioned.
Well, I just asked if there's some flexibility because we're talking about one building, but I'm sure that it needs to be in more than one building.
What does?
Security and detail. And I just thought that because we've had it here and we've had some success, that when you're thinking about the budget there would be some allowance for it to, not to just be in one building so everybody else feels left out, but just because I don't think it's just in one place that they need.
We have not. We put it at Savo because at the time that Matt was the interim here and there was a lot of Savo problem, we went ahead and we did this. It's not going to be dependent on the expense. It may not be something we can carry for the whole year, but we do have it in the budget currently for Salvo, and we certainly can look for Cahill because I know they're also having problems.
Thank you.
Any questions on the 3 state programs, right? That's what you're ultimately going to be signing the documents. I think Sharon, I don't know, are you doing DocuSign or?
Oh, that's the problem. Normally, yes. In the past, we've always, once they agree on the budget, they give me permission to do a well, it's not a DocuSign. They actually give me permission
to sign. Yep.
Because until it ends up in it's going into Cap Hub, I believe.
Correct.
But I don't think it's in time for this budget. Where then what I understand, because I took the class the other day, is that the board will be able to sign in and sign their names in Cap Hub.
Correct.
So have one section to just go in. But that's not ready yet.
Okay.
Okay.
One final question with this. Sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Do we have anything in here where maintenance fees is there allotted raises for them? I'm just a little, it's opaque again.
So the maintenance has a union contract.
That I know.
And yeah, so their union.
We just say, oh, you let your union deal with this. We don't exceptional behavior working because and I know.
No, it's just one of our contracts, Commissioner. Our union contract is one of our many contracts, and the union, the workers in their union negotiate with the housing authority and come up with wages, and then it's in a specific contract. Where it is in here, I don't know, but we do have a contract with them.
It's not.
I figured that. I just wanted to know because I have, and and I've seen with lack of workers here, people working to the point where they're looking, in my opinion, unhealthy because they're just nonstop.
Yes, we've been shorthanded. There needs to be some better training, and I've been working on that, Tara, about making some changes. So hopefully it'll help.
So that concludes the 3 programs to the state program, which once again is you're gonna be signing off on approving once you approve these budgets. Couple things to note on other programs that NHA has, and once again, this is going to be moving. Is the management agreement contracts with East Hampton and Hatfield. At the moment, I believe East Hampton is searching for executive director.
East Hampton is searching, and they gave us a 60-day notice. So if that is true that we don't have to extend because they don't find someone, that would bring us to the end of March and we will be through.
Correct. And just something to note on this program, very small program, once again, does not need to get reported to the state through HAFIS, but we had reserves of about 30,000. We anticipate a small deficit. The reserves will be about $12,000 at the end of this fiscal year if obviously East Hampton doesn't or extends till June. But once again, this is going to be updated and it's just budgeted for right now as if East Hampton and Hatfield are part of NHA's management agreements all the way through June 30th. One of the other programs is obviously NHA's Section 8 program. We anticipate about $1.3 million in expenses. Total admin revenue from HUD is about 1.3. We anticipate a small surplus of 2683. Where does that stand in reserve to the operating reserve for our HUD program? At the end of June 30th, we anticipate about $1.535 million in this program. So really good, healthy operating reserve in the Section 8 program. Commissioner Tarbutton, you asked about the laundry fund. And you said, where is it? It's right here. So the beginning balance as of July is $40,894. We anticipate laundry revenue for the year about $16,000. And Sharon, maybe you can go into this, but I think we have community room updates about $16,000. And the balance will still be right around that $41,000 at the end of this fiscal year.
That community room, is that what I asked Gary to budget for?
Must be.
At Salvo?
Yeah.
Okay. which is couches and updates for the community one.
So that concludes all programs, including federal and the management agreement programs for Northampton Housing Authority. Any other questions?
Final question. When do the contract end with Hatfield?
I think it goes into 28, unless one gives notice.
Jim Nash?
Thank you. So Michael, I'm new here and I'm trying to figure out what's going on. So we are, at this point, 7 months into the fiscal year 2026, and we're being asked to sign off and approve a budget. Is that correct?
Correct. And Jim, Sharon could probably go into more detail here, but from what I've heard from Gary and past other executive directors, one of the things that really sets this up, and this is going to be almost like the same cadence for NHA, is because they're a June 30th year end. Okay. And what that means is EOHLC does not usually get us, the fee accountants and everybody else, the state, the budget guidelines until about September 1st. Okay. So they give us the guidelines of September 1st saying, hey, here's the guidelines that start on July 1st for NHA. So we're already 2 months into NHA's fiscal year and we just received the budget guidelines. So by the time we prepare everything and do all this stuff, usually, once again, is we try to be as diligent as possible. It's usually around this time, sometimes in December, that we're really going to the board saying, hey, here's our budget for fiscal year 26 for this June 30th because of those reasons. There's actually been a time, one of the executive directors of another housing authority, I think he confirmed, because they were June 30th, I think they were submitting their budget for a fiscal year while also preparing their year-end financials.
I think that happened here before too.
So hopefully that helps, Commissioner Nash.
Well, it does say that we're working at a big disadvantage in terms of planning our finances, that here we are 7 months into the year, and that based on what you're sharing, it's pretty much set in stone what it is we're going to be doing for our finances for the year. And I'm maybe Hank knows more about, because he's run these type of, he's run housing authorities before, but it seems that, we're kind of over the barrel in terms of managing the finances here. And so, I was expecting, as I was looking at this item on the agenda, that I was coming and we were going to be doing some updates. Oh yeah, there was some money that got moved around. We're updating the budget. No, we're actually being asked to approve the budget. And I'm kind of surprised by that. What's the deadline for approval, Michael?
The two things. One is they give us, for the June 30th, they give us a quick turnaround time, which I believe was maybe like November 2nd. One thing to note, though, is there's really no, and if Sharon goes through her PMR, the performance management review or anything, there's no really exception or strike, as I would say, to submitting a budget late. Most of EOHLC understands that. One of the things that we're going through as fee accountants right now is, and Sharon mentioned it a minute ago, is they're switching their entire system to CapHub, including budgets. And we for March year ends for next year. And we've been trying to go in there, and the whole system has a lot of flaws in it, and they're trying to update it. But at the same time, we're trying to say, hey, their deadline for these are like February 8th. And there's no way we're going to submit them on time because the system's not even ready, the new system, and that we're forced to use this new system, and it's not even ready.
Well, so our guidelines too, Michael. Normally, our guidelines don't even come out until November, December. We got them early this year.
Yeah.
But then you still have to put your budget together, and it's hard to put a budget together when you don't know what the guidelines are. We can start some of it, obviously we know, but we can't fully put it together to bring to the board until we have all the details of what they put in the guidelines.
And Commissioner Nash, in a perfect world, right? You would be saying maybe this budget presentations is for July, right? Next fiscal year, right?
I was thinking that at one point.
Right. Right. No, it's fine, right? I mean, in my world, coming from private accounting, right? We do a budget. It would be 3-4 months before even the calendar year, right? But in this case, we're really hindered by when the state comes out with these guidelines for us to even prepare a budget.
Yeah.
So I hope that helps a little.
Yeah, a little bit. Well, I'd be interested hearing from other commissioners because it sounds like this is routine. I'm new to this, and maybe Jeff or Hank. Jeff's got his hand raised. I think he's got some thoughts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, this is kind of the norm, and November, December for getting guidelines, unfortunately, is all too often the reality. And there was one year that we were patient, and we actually sent the state a letter basically demanding, we was like, will you please give us the information to work with so we can crank out our budget, because we just couldn't do it. And we may have just done a placeholder budget, which was a repeat of the year before.
Yeah.
Because we just couldn't do it. And yet they have these guidelines that you have to submit your budget. Well, we can't. So it is frustrating, but it has been all too often the norm.
Hank, did you have a comment?
That is exactly my experience too. You've got to submit, but we can't give you the information you need to submit. And it's frustrating.
And just a side note on kind of what we deal with on our end sometimes as fee accountants is we obviously submit a bunch of budgets, and there'll be times where they'll just be sitting there for 2 months, and we'll reach out and be like, how's the budget going? And, we'll get maybe a response that, I was out sick for a couple of weeks. We'll look at it. And then another month goes by, and really, we got to keep knocking on their door and kind of saying, hey, is this going to get approved? Do you have any questions?
Yeah.
Right? What stage is it at? Just to keep making sure that there's some sort of traction on it. And it's just obviously unfortunate.
Yeah. Because once we submit, we still have another 60 days to wait.
I think that's what happened last year. Is I get very confused with the budget timing with this. But Commissioner Tarbutton, you had
I think I may have missed something. So since Michael, you know how to go to something really quickly. What were the things for the RSCs? Did you? The only reason I'm thinking about that, I know Mass Union was asking the Healy administration. For that.
So we get two direct exemptions from EOHLC, part of our subsidy calculation of $60,000 each. $55,000 can go towards salaries and benefits for that RSC individual, and then the other $5,000 is for incidentals to be used for like tenant supplies, tenant activities.
What does RSD stand for?
Resident Service Coordinator.
What is that? I couldn't hear.
Resident Services Coordinator.
Coordinator. Okay, thank you.
And we're woefully behind. We only have 1 or 2, and they're all over all these buildings here. So I was expecting a little bit more. And then my question is, because I'm not even sure I know, in the Mass Union meeting I went into, they said sometimes these contracts are even signed off by LTOs, depending on they're part of that or something. I'm not quite sure. My head is spinning, guys. I have headaches. This stuff. I'm sorry, but I have to say thank you for this. This is clear, and I'm still learning, and I just think it's pretty amazing. So please don't take my many questions as disapproval, but I do appreciate you being very thorough to this. But just something. It's like an ick. I know this is how standard operating procedures, but
I think just something we can always just move forward and work with Sharon is just maybe what we do is once the budget's good, we can always and Sharon, I'm assuming you send the packets out through email.
Yes.
Yeah, so we can obviously give you Excel work papers, so then you can open up Excel and just obviously zoom in. You can see kind of our schedule and all the work that we do and all the tabs in there, and hopefully that will make it a little bit easier to see everything, view it. If you want to print out a page a different way on 2 pages, you can, and then obviously from there, any other comments or anything to improve from there on out, we can do it.
Well, I got this on Friday, and my personal printer, because I'm a resident too, my personal printer is broken. So I can't even go over the stuff with you that I spent all weekend long going through. So I would like some more time on these, but I just heard you say you just got this. So I get it. I get it.
Yeah, it's a quick turnaround, right? I mean, we want to get a budget in front of the board as fast as possible, right? But there's
Well,
obviously
we have a huge agenda too, that it wasn't just budget.
Right.
And I have to pack it up, all of it, before I can give it. I can't just give piecemeal.
I understand.
But
yeah. Okay. Michael, could we talk to you another time about Commissioner Wood's suggestion about sort of a consolidated way of looking at some of the more striking parts of the budget change? Maybe, I don't know if that's something before, but
yeah. I mean, one thing let me just if you guys, if everybody has a minute, let me just. What I normally do now for any kind of year end financials, because a lot of the board members, all this detail, all these numbers that tie back to EOHLC that force us to do all this stuff. It's great. You can look at it, but what are you really looking at, right? And something that I normally do for year end information is, and I'm just going to show you kind of an Excel work paper on kind of what our year end is. Maybe we can do work together on finding some kind of little summary for even the budget by program. But here's just a quick example. And sorry for the colors. That just means that there's a manual calculation in there.
I like the colors.
Right? But so here's kind of what we do, what I normally do for year-end purposes, because this is what the board really does, in my opinion, now is if I'm a board member or a commissioner, do I need to know that admin other was underspent by $500? Not really. Right? Do I need to understand that contract costs went over by $200? Not really, because once again, it's a budget. There's estimates. There's things that happen in real time that some accounts might be over, some accounts might be under. We talked about $75,000 allotted for appliances as needed, right? Well, if we spend 50, that means 25 goes back in there. Do you really need to know that at year end? And my answer would be is maybe. But realistically, as a commissioner, is you really want to know is, hey, what did we budget for our budget and our deficit or income? What did we budget for our operating reserve? And where did we land? Right? And this is kind of what I've been doing for a lot of housing authorities on their year-end stuff. So it's a quick, nice overview. You get to see, hey, we budgeted. Hey, we're going to land at 49%. Where did we land at year-end at 58%? Now, what I would normally do too is, if for some reason at year end, and let's say this number went down to 35%, right? Then we would get a little granular into, why did we lose 14%? Why did we go over budget? And we would highlight those items, those big line items as to why. But hopefully this just helps, and we can maybe start doing something from a budget standpoint, kind of like a little overview like this. Would that?
Okay. Anything else? Anybody else have other comments? We have a lot on our agenda still. Okay, the motion to accept the budget as shown is before us, and Jeff and Ben seconded.
You want me to do the roll call?
Ready to vote? Yes. Mm-hmm.
Can I make a comment before we vote?
Sure.
And this is my vote. I want to thank everybody for taking the time out to understand the authority's fiscal responsibility, because of course I take it seriously as well as everyone else. And I was just saying the materials presented here, as I mentioned, are highly technical, actuarial in nature, and were provided without this commissioner level summary or sufficient time for a meaningful review, because I do not feel I can responsibly explain or fully understand the financial assumptions, reserve calculations, and salary determinations being approved. I'm not comfortable voting on this resolution today. So out of an abundance of caution and in keeping with my fiduciary duty, I'll abstain. Not that you didn't do a great presentation. So anyway, I think that's my vote.
Thank you, Commissioner. Motion is on the floor. Will you call the roll, Sharon?
Yes, and I'm still going to have to call your name so you can say that again. Okay. Chairperson Healy.
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Commissioner Nash.
Abstain.
Commissioner Tarbutton Springfield.
Abstain.
Commissioner Wood.
Yes.
And Commissioner Abraskin.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, moving right along, the next motion, I'm sorry. Get the budget in front of me. Number 6.
It has to do with the ADA bathroom conversion.
Yeah, I'm just looking for it so I can, here it is. To approve the EOHLC project, the bathroom conversion, which people had before them. May I have a motion to accept? I'm sorry, someone make the motion in a second.
I'll make a motion.
Seconded.
Thank you.
You go ahead.
Questions, comments?
I did. Again, if I haven't said it, I really appreciate the beautiful way this was presented again, with this very easy to read. So my hats off to you. But my question was, which property are we talking about?
So this has to do with the American with Disabilities Act.
Yes.
We get so much money, ADA money, in our capital fund.
Mm-hmm.
And this is going to be for one of our properties, apartments in Huntington. It's a bathroom conversion for 1A. And they're taking out the tub and they're putting in a roll-in shower. Then they're going to retile the wall and they'll be putting in a new sink and a toilet.
So that's for one property, one person.
But they're getting a new sink, a new toilet, a tub. They're redoing the tile. But yes, and we only get so much money from the state. We can only spend it on ADA. We cannot spend this money on anything else. So this is actually a really good thing to spend it on.
I get that, and I understand that. It wasn't quite clear where it was, but I can think of 3 people here in Savo House who would need such an accommodation. But
this is the motion on the floor right now.
Okay,
so.
sure. So,
all right. Any other questions, comments?
Yeah, Patty, I have a question.
Yes,
Maybe it's kind of to maybe what Joella was saying. So can you just give us a little bit of a sense of how these projects are prioritized? So I imagine there are many ADA related projects that need to happen across the properties.
It has to do with the capital improvement fund when we meet with the state, which usually is around this time. And so we met with them last year on stuff like this. And if we had any ADA that we could think of, that we could come up with, it has to fall into their guidelines on it, and for reasonable accommodation. And this one, which really has to do with the state likes to remove the bathtubs and put in the roll-in showers. And this particular tenant, they had put in for it way back when we did this, and when the CIP was approved last year. We'll have more coming up this year. We haven't done the annual plan yet. And it ends up in our capital fund, and it came up with a fish number. So it's ready to be done.
Okay, no, that's helpful. So it sounds to me like it's sort of a tenant-driven process of identifying the need. They bring it to the attention of the housing authority. Then it gets sort of hashed out in this annual process of how much dollars are available.
Right. And we find out, because we don't usually have a lot of dollars available for ADA. It's very limited. So ones that are when we talk with Beth Thompson, she's the one that we work with. with housing, to do our CIP. We'll go over and talk about all different, who we may have to be able to do this. And this one was chosen in the capital improvement project last year, which was approved. Now it's coming up for fish to be done.
Okay, anyone else? Okay, the motion is on the floor. Maybe we can call the roll now.
Alrighty. Chairperson Healy,
Yes.
Commissioner Jones,
Yes.
Commissioner Nash,
Yes.
Commissioner Tarbutton Springfield,
Definitely, yes.
and Commissioner Wood,
Yes.
and Commissioner Braskin.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. The motion passes. The next motion, number 7, to accept the certificate of final completion for fish, number 214123, for the boiler and water heater replacement in the amount of $37,144. Sharon, did you want to comment on this?
Yeah, this has to do with the boiler and replacement at Cahill.
Okay.
And they've done the project. I think this is the final, right? This is the final. They've been doing it. It's the last bill we're going to get for it. But it's the boiler and heat water replacement that we've done at Cahill.
Okay, motion, Patty. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. Sorry, doing things backwards here. Any other comments? No. Okay, Sharon, could you call the roll?
Okay, sure. Chairperson Healy,
Yes.
Commissioner Jones,
Yes.
Commissioner Nash,
Yes.
Commissioner Tarbutton Springfield,
Yes.
Commissioner Wood,
Yes.
and Commissioner Braskin.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Motion passes. Moving on to number 8, resolution to approve resolution 2026-2 contract for financial assistance, CFA 5010 for Salvo House. And this is for roof insulation in the amount of $84,703.33.
So this is the additional. Oh, do you want to do a first and a second?
Yeah, first. Can someone make the motion, please?
So moved.
Okay, Jeff, and second.
Second.
Thank you, Jim. Okay, motion's on the floor. Do you want to talk to us about it?
Yeah, so this is, as we all know, the roof is getting done. Everybody's all excited about it, as I am as well at Savo. And during their, because they started the project, it's already beginning. They found that they need more insulation in the roofing. So this is over and above what was originally approved, which changes the actual contract, because it's going to be 84,000 more for the insulation for the roofing. So coming and asking for approval to do this.
This will be insulation. Commissioner Tarbutton Springfield, you had a question?
First of all, this is for Tom and Judge Abraskin. Can I vote because I live here in Savo?
Tom,
Yes, you can, Joelle. It's not a direct benefit to you, so you're certainly free to abstain if you want to, but it's not something you would have to abstain, in my opinion.
Okay, and then all I asked, and I thanks for clarifying this, because the question was, didn't we do this last time? All I asked, and I pray that it doesn't, its expiration date is June 30th, 2035. I'm asking and hoping and praying it doesn't take 10 years to get this done. The sooner the better.
I've been meeting with them. We go in the community room and we meet, and we have a plan. We're hoping to have this done. I mean, it's starting now, but as soon as warm weather is, it's going to be happening. You'll be seeing the ladders and it coming apart.
Thank you.
Okay, any other comments or questions?
One question. What?
Yes, sir.
Sorry, what kind of insulation is used?
You got me. I'm not sure. I could find out and email you.
I'd like to know too.
It's not too much trouble, sure.
I don't think it says on the paperwork I gave you, did it? It might have. Sometimes they.
I didn't see it.
It's pretty.
Okay, I'll find out and email you guys.
Okay, thank you very much.
Oh, of course, no problem.
Okay, the motion is made and seconded. Time for vote.
Chairperson Healy,
Yes.
Commissioner Jones,
Yes.
Commissioner Nash,
Yes.
Commissioner Tarbott Springfield,
Definitely.
Commissioner Wood,
Yes.
Commissioner Braskin.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, the moment we've all been waiting for. Discussion and some decision making on an executive director search. I sent out to you about, I think it was a few weeks ago, the extensive number of documents from EOHLC about how to start a search committee, what all the regulations are, which are significant, and what some of the requirements are for us. And in the process of trying to get all this information together, a few things that I've learned. One is that Massinero, which is the industry organization, provides a service to prepare a recruitment, and it's like a recruitment and search service. I don't know if I sent this piece to you. I don't remember if I did.
I got it.
Okay, I did send it. I did call another Driscoll and Driscoll, but they're not doing it anymore. I don't think other groups are doing it that are, have recently placed executive directors. I did call the consultant at Mass Narrow. He said they placed 10 executive directors in the last year. And one is in a large housing authority. Most were in medium to small. He said that very large, like a Boston or a Brookline, they usually contract with a very big national search consultant when they search for one, but that we're sort of in the realm of the size of housing authorities that use Mass Narrow. The cost is $5,500 for meeting with us, figuring out the right qualifications for a housing authority this size, composing the advertisements, which, by the way, we would pay for, recommending where they would be placed, being the center for receiving resumes. Then they would put together he's explained it as like a spreadsheet of all the different qualities of the different those who apply, and whether or not our expectations. And then they would recommend several, but we certainly have access to all the resumes. He said it varies, the number that come into his center for various authorities. He couldn't give me any prediction at all. However, first of all, I would recommend that we proceed to use Massinero to sort of do the legwork. And one of the reasons why we need to hire someone to do this is that we will have internal candidates, and those internal can't necessarily be handling resumes and all the other information. So that is one piece that we will have to talk about. And the other is the actual search committee. The only person in this group, I think, that's had the experience of doing it was in the housing authority is Jeff, unless Hank has done a search. Probably you have, Hank, right?
For executive director?
Yes.
Other positions, but not that.
Oh, not an ED. Okay. So, and I did, Jeff and I did have a conversation about it. He told me what the process was like and, how quickly it went. And my understanding is that a small search committee would work more efficiently. And they only had 3 on their search committee 10 years ago when they decided to go with Carol Leeper. Cyrus from Mass Narrow said 3 is the norm, but to stay, he recommends, and I read that also in guidelines, recommends that we stay under the size of our quorum, because when you do all this sort of legwork, we'll still have all of the resumes and we can still share them with our residents and all of the board. But if we have a search committee that is the size of the quorum of our organization, then we must do all of our work in a public meeting, which is fine. It's just more cumbersome. And I don't know if Tom can add to that. I don't know if that's something that you would want to comment on. Maybe not.
No, that's exactly right. The moment if you have a quorum together, you're going to have to post, and it's going to have to be, pursuant to the open meeting laws. So I think that's excellent advice.
Yeah. So it's fine to do it that way, but to be efficient and to get as much information quickly as possible. And then our next step after the three or four folks on the search committee obtain all of that and finish working with Massanero, then we open it up for the entire board, residents, LTOs, so that all can participate. And again, the guidelines have changed in the past couple of years for the participation of residents, and it's expanded so that LTOs need and should have a role in interviewing and looking at all of the resumes, but also residents. Once we get down to sort of brass tacks with a couple of candidates, we need to set up a way in which residents will have that opportunity to meet those candidates, make their recommendation to both the search committee and the larger board. That process is something that we don't have to decide immediately, but we should keep that in mind because that's going to be a larger piece of the sort of the review in coming weeks. I've been told we need to do it within 5 to 6 months max. Cyrus said that usually within 2 weeks or so of posting, he gets resumes. So he said maybe 6 weeks from when we post to when we start having our first meetings, we'd be able to start reviewing, organizing our residents, organizing the LTOs to look at some of this information. I wanted to just comment. Doug, did you want to ask a question? Because I wanted to have you participate if you felt you had a question. You had your hand raised, so no. Okay. Yeah, it was just because I know that LTOs are very concerned about this. We've been hearing about it.
May I ask a question, Chair of the Chair?
Yes.
Thank you. So I'm not sure I understood correctly, but three candidates will be selected before.
That's a suggestion. Yeah.
Before, for example, residents or others, so they would only be reviewing those pre-selected, if that's the right term.
I think they do. I think that they do look at all of the resumes that come in. I think the work of Massanero is to weed out those that don't meet the criteria that we're looking for. So if that's what we want to do, we could have just those resumes where people meet the criteria of what we're looking for, which might be experience, which might be, having worked in a housing authority before, that kind of thing. So I guess what I'm asking is, would people want to see a small search committee to start the process with Massanero, and then the board can then develop a way in which to open up review of resumes with all parties?
Can I answer? I've had my hand
Yes.
up.
Yes,
there's something I submitted that I meet with resident board and meet and commissioners from all over the state, at least maybe 2 or 3 times a month. And I sent you a name of a consultant that's had some rave reviews other than Masnarro and doing it very comprehensive. I don't have an issue. I just got here with the previous administration, and I barely met, and it was I didn't get to ask probing questions because I just moved in. I'd never been in the housing before, but I really hope that we really you hear me keep saying expanding the search, to include people of color, to include people who've worked here, people, possibly even some tenants, not this tenant, but there have been some tenants who've run private housing things. So I'm worried that Masnarro is, great. I go to all those conferences. I learn a whole deal, but I feel like, is it going to be more of the same? Or are we getting out of that box? I know I'm in another committee, and with the search thing, they really branch out, not just here and other places too, and saying how great this Northampton place is and all that. So the net is wide, and I'm afraid we're going to do pretty much the same. And I'm really more nervous about 2 or 3 people. I get it, but I don't understand it very well. Why we are limiting.
And just to answer that, it's just a suggestion 3. Just because it's a number that comes up when I read about it. But one thing is that if we look at candidates who are out of state, I think it's typical that sometimes we're up for the cost of people coming here for an interview, and I don't know if that's something that we'd want to do, and I don't have an answer for it. But I'm going to, before I go to the two residents from the LTOs, I'd like to have Ben and Jeff raise your points. Ben?
Sure. I just wanted to express that I'm all for a process that creates a little bit of nimbleness and efficiency, because I think that it's going to be incredibly difficult if we try to do everything as a board and everything subject to open meeting law. So I think there's got to be some way for us to create some efficiencies while maintaining transparency across the process. So I would be in favor of some form of a steering committee that enabled folks to meet without hitting the quorum. I'd also suggest that to Joella's really important point about search firms and the potential to weed out potential candidates who might not meet traditional sort of potentially norms around qualifications, that I think it would be our role to set what those qualifications are beyond like what the minimum probable standards are that EOHLC set. So the types of criteria that the board would want to make sure are important considerations. That's incumbent upon us to ensure that those criteria are made loud and clear to the search firm, so that they are not weeding out potentially great folks who we would want to see and interview and have conversations with. That is a long-winded way of saying I'm all in favor of the search firm and the steering committee.
Thanks. And Jeff, please.
Yeah, I think Naro is fine. I can't remember 10 years ago who we used. It might have been Driscoll. But whoever it was, we had a search committee of 3 people. We had two commissioners. We had the chair as one of the commissioners. At the time, that was me. We had a member of the community, which turned out to be former Mayor Claire Higgins. And then we had the third person was another commissioner on the board that was in the housing industry themselves. And we got 48 resumes.
Wow.
We had feedback as far as whittling it down, but we saw all the resumes and we made the decision we whittled it down to nine people that we thought were credible for interviews. And mostly it was not qualified, blah, 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 whatever that meant at the time. And then we went through the interview process, and people had set questions. Everybody got the same questions. So we divided up who did it. We worked a lot of Saturdays because schedule-wise, it's the only time we could do it to make it work. And then we whittled it down to 3 or 4 people. And at that point, we set up meetings for that were open to tenants to come meet the candidates, and they had prepared statements and did Q&A. And then we did the same thing for the staff to come in and they did prepared statements and did Q&A. And then at that point, it was all open to the full board. The committee did make a recommendation to the board, and the board acted. And I don't know what falling into the same categories means, Commissioner Tarbert and Springfield. The 2 previous executive directors were both white men. In this particular case, we had a first female executive director of the authority that I'm aware of, and we went from there. So I think the consultant is a valuable tool to have to guide the committee, and I think it should be 3 people.
Okay.
I'll leave it there.
Okay. It's not typical to have others weigh in with the board, but I wanted to have Doug Kierdoff give a comment about his thoughts.
Yeah, thank you. I just, the misgiving that I have is, I think the same one that Mr. Abrashkin said, that if we have things narrowed down by a consultant, and possibly a couple members of the board without any LTO input, and we get it narrowed down to 3, we'll really be presented with a fait accompli. We'll have a choice of people who have already. We may not find anyone in those 3 that we like. That's all. I mean, given recent experiences, we are very, and I think I'm not just talking from the point of view of Forsander, but from all residents. We're very anxious to have some input, genuine input into who the next executive director is.
Comment from one of the Cahill officers. Lisa, did you make a?
Yes, I just wanted to follow up on that. The Public Housing Notice 2021-03 says that the LTOs must be included in who to interview and what the recommendations are. And it's earlier in the process than what you're indicating. And that's not a maybe, that's a must be. So I'd ask you to take that into consideration.
Thanks, Lisa. Yeah, I'm not saying, I mean, it's possible to have an LTO person be on the search committee too, and that would cover that. But any other comments?
A quick clarification.
Yes.
Are we saying that the search committee can only consist of 3 people?
It can, as long as it's not a quorum of, which is four, right? A quorum is.
Well, that refers to commissioners. But if the committee includes 3 commissioners and then several other people that the commissioners choose.
Tom, would you clarify that? Do you know offhand? Is it a quorum? My understanding was so that's, it would be a quorum of commissioners.
Which for us is 4.
Would be 4. So even if we had 3 commissioners, if we had 2 or 3 residents.
Yeah, it's just commissioners. As long as you don't have 4 commissioners, you're not.
Okay, I was thinking differently.
Issue there.
So and I'm sorry to follow up, but so there could be, let's say, 3 commissioners. There could be X numbers of whatever we choose of residents. And there also could be people from outside the organization, outside the NHA, right? Okay, that's what I want to clarify. Thank you.
Yes, thanks. And we don't have someone who is a community person as yet there are people who are interested, but I just wanted to get a sense from the board what people would like to see. And also, if we're looking at a couple of board members to be on the search committee, are there people who are interested? Are there people who would be interested on the search committee? Is anyone going to raise a hand here? Commissioner Tarbutton? Mm.
Not sure at this point.
Yeah, okay. So that would probably be the.
Can I ask just a question about that, Patty? Are we trying to make decisions tonight about the composition of the search committee in its totality?
I prefer to make a decision because it's already the end of January, and if we wait until February, we don't have to. I mean, we could make a decision to contract with EOHLC or whomever to start, but we need people who will be on the search committee.
Right, the search committee needs to so like crafting the actual job description and posting, for example, right? Is that going to be something that comes before the whole board? Or is that the steering committee the search committee that's going to do that?
I think it would be the search committee that needs to do sort of the legwork of this.
Yeah, we did that with the consultant, Patty, up with the job description, and because they put the ads out to start soliciting resumes and get the ball rolling.
And we should remember that all of this is done within the constraints of the guidelines provided by the state.
Right. So we only have two commissioners who have volunteered, Commissioner Tarbutton and Commissioner Healy. I was going to suggest that the LTOs each choose one LTO member to be on the search committee, and that would give each LTO direct involvement. Oh, I have Amy. Amy, did you want to say something from Cahill?
Yeah. I forgot my hand was up. I picked the wrong thing. Really. Yeah. I wanted to just, I guess, agree with what Ben and Jeff were saying earlier about the search committee. Now that you've made the decision, but and that also that agree with Doug. We are excited to have some input, and also that I think a smaller group, like you were saying, is important. It's a large group, and having the whole, the board thing and all the rules that it applies is too much. So, I mean, my hand's still up, but yeah, I like the idea of us, small. I mean, this is way too much. It's too much for everybody. So, I'm sorry, my hand was still up now that you decided to do that. But yes, I like. I mean, we want to have some say, but you can't have too much.
Okay.
You can't have too many of us speaking, because then you'll get, you're overwhelmed. You have all these applications. Right. You need to go with a group, and it's a smaller group, and the idea of having a small, a quorum, and then if you want to add some, some of us to have some say, we would appreciate that. Absolutely. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe one from each LTO. That would be great.
Okay. What about a community member? Do people have an idea of a community member who would possibly be interested and who would have experience?
Yeah, I'll email it to you. Someone, if you're asking, sorry.
Okay. All right.
Two community members. I just want to say this because I asked today at Mass Union, it has to be the LTO that's recognized to be a part of and I think someone said it too. They must be on as opposed to they should be on the committee, whatever the committee looks like. But it had to be those who were recognized by. Yeah, and I'll email you right now.
Okay. All right.
Patty, can I make a suggestion just
yes.
in terms of process moving this along here? So maybe this is going to be a relatively large group, but it sounds like this is what people are wanting, and I don't disagree with it. But maybe a suggestion or a motion that the search committee be comprised of 3 board members, such that we don't have to go into public meeting every time the search committee meets,
Mhm.
representative from each LTO that will nominate their representative, and a community member that will be determined by the LTOs and the three commissioners at some other TBD time, so we don't have to have a conversation about specific people right now.
Okay. Yep. Would you make that as a motion? I'm gonna,
I move to constitute a search committee for a new executive director, comprised of three board commissioners, representative from each LTO, and a community member to be determined at such a time as the LTOs and the three commissioners first meet.
ordinarily the chair doesn't make a friendly amendment, but would you be authorizing the chair to proceed to name a community member?
Yes.
Okay. All right, there's a motion on the floor. Hank?
Yes, I would recommend not necessarily restricting it up front to one community member. There may be more than one that would be advantageous.
Do you want to make a friendly amendment?
Yes.
Did I second that?
So does that mean that I then have to have us vote on that friendly amendment first? Somebody here is much better at this than I am.
I think that's accurate, but who's our parliamentarian here?
Have to approve the amendment first, then the full motion.
Okay, all right. So the amendment's on the floor to have two community members,
Well,
if possible.
I'm sorry, but my amendment is to leave that up to the board members who are on the committee.
Okay, may have up to two. The committee may have up to two community members. Is that what you're saying?
Not quite. No.
Or more than one. What did he say?
What I said is that it should be up to the board members who are on the committee, right, to determine how many community members they would want to include.
Okay, I understand how many community members to include. So the friendly amendment is to suggest that the board members on the committee would determine the number of community members who would participate on the search and hiring committee. Is that
yes? And that depends on the members of the community who would be considered, of course.
So that's the motion, and Joella seconded the motion. Any other discussion?
Yeah, point of information. So how many people are we talking about? Because I was on two search committees last year and it was excruciating. And one of them was a 4-3 vote. So we need an odd number of people on the search committee. You are going to have things come up and you need a voting mechanism to resolve whatever those are. So we need an odd number of people, whoever those folks are.
Okay.
Of community members, you mean?
Search committee, period.
Odd number of the search committee.
Whoever, I'm just asking, how many people are we talking about now?
So
like, how many LTOs are recognized? We have 3 commissioners. We have 1, maybe 2 community folks to be determined. So how many total is that? I think it should be an odd number. Search committee.
So
yeah, we're dealing with I count 7. Okay, we have 2 LTOs that are recognized.
Okay.
We have 3 commissioners. We have
5.
1 to 2. Is that 7? 1, 2, 3.
1 to 2, right. So unless Hank wants to consider adjusting his friendly amendment.
Well, what I'm trying to say is not to try to limit the number of community members up front.
Okay.
And let the board members on the committee make that determination based on who might be interested, what they've learned about the people.
Okay, so the motion is on the floor and it's seconded. It's Frank's amendment, friendly amendment. Whether we'll have the board to decide one to two, who the 1 to 2 members of the community are who will participate. So Sharon, will you call the roll?
Yes.
Okay, may I just clarify that? We keep saying 1 to 2, but my amendment said that the members of the board on the committee would determine the number of community members.
The number,
The
but
number.
not more than 2.
Would determine the community members that they want to put on the selection committee, and that would depend on community members who express interest, who would be qualified. So I don't think it's a good idea to just impose kind of a random number.
I agree.
But to work that out by the commissioners on the committee as they get more information.
Okay, so the motion is, as Hank stated, that the board members will be authorized to
Include community members, I'm sorry,
not the number.
as they determine. Yes.
The board will, and the board member.
I would actually like to make another a friendly amendment here. I think to Jeff's point, which I actually fully agree with. This feels a little bit to me like it could get very unwieldy if there's conversation about opening it up to any number of community members to participate in the process. My suggestion would be to have the voting members of the search committee be the members of the LTO and the board commissioners. So that's 5 people. To Jeff's point, it's an odd number, and there can be community members, and these 5 folks on the steering committee, on the search committee, sorry, can determine how many community members, what kind of perspectives they want to participate in the search committee process, review resumes, make suggestions about who gets interviewed, etc. But it's those 5 people who are ultimately voting on who it is that get recommended for interviews. That would be my suggestion.
Very sensible, and I can definitely, we have the mechanism for input, but if you want for the votes to be restricted to just those 5 individuals, that's fine.
So that you're making a friendly amendment to Hank's amendment. Hank has accepted that amendment. That the voting members would be the LTO reps and the board members. But Hank's amendment is for the board to decide who those community members will be to participate, but we will not be, there isn't a number to it. Is that right?
Yeah, no number, but they wouldn't be, the community members would not be voting members, correct?
And will you accept Ben's friendly amendment?
Yes.
So we can make that. So am I correct that we can make just one vote on this one amendment? Is that right?
Yes.
Yes, thank you. Okay, so Sharon, will you call the roll?
Chairperson Healy.
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Commissioner Nash.
Jim, you're muted.
My apologies. Yes.
Commissioner Tarbutton Springfield.
Yes.
Commissioner Wood.
Yes.
And Commissioner Obrashkin.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. The motion passes. That amendment is to the first motion, which is, if I can name the motion, to establish, I have it written here, I'm sorry, to establish the search committee for the executive director that will be made up of the 3 LTO, recognized LTOs will each have 1 member and 3 board members. Any other questions about that one?
I thought it was 2 LTOs and 3.
Two LTOs, the 2 recognized, I'm sorry, and the 3 board members.
All right.
And is that, I'm sorry, clarification, is that The question about who would be voting members? Is that what we're voting on?
Yes,
Okay, thank you.
and that will be the search committee.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. So again, if I could state the motion, to establish form a search committee for the executive director, which will be comprised of LTO members, one LTO member from each recognized LTO, which I believe is 2 of them, and 3 current board members. And then Hank's amendment is part of that. Am I saying that correctly? I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, it's been a long meeting. Yeah,
I know.
Yes, I think.
Okay.
Yes.
Go.
So I think we can call for a vote. Everybody understands that. Is that correct? Okay.
I just want to say this. There are community, stakeholders, the community who are interested, whether or not they vote or not. I just think that don't be so overwhelmed with the people.
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying, but I worked at the university. I had many times that we did this. It's not as scary as you think.
Right. No, Commissioner, just speak to the motion now. We already know that we'll have community members. I'm not talking about the community members right now. Okay, so we call the roll.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chairperson Healy,
Yes.
Commissioner Jones,
Yes.
Commissioner Nash,
Yes.
and Commissioner Tarbutton Springfield,
Yes.
and Commissioner Wood,
Yes.
and Commissioner Abrashkin.
Yes.
Motion passes. Would someone make a motion to engage with Mass Narrow for the executive director search?
So moved.
Seconded.
Thank you. Any discussion?
I thought we were going to also consider with the group, whether or not there's a consultant. Did we definitively say it was going to be just Mass Narrow?
The motion is on the floor to engage Mass Narrow.
Well, do I make a friendly amendment to expand that to a consultant? Because is Mass Narrow being the consultant? It's late.
You can make an amendment to have us look at another consultant, but I've already looked at this one, and I don't have any other information about any other consultant. So this is the motion.
I sent you some information. Did you look at the one that I sent you the information on?
I don't have any other information. I believe you sent it, but I don't remember reading anything. But I think we're going to vote on this motion, and people can vote for or against. If you'd like to comment on it, you may go ahead and comment on it. Joella, did you?
I hear you. I'm just trying to find it. Okay, sorry.
In the meantime, Jim Nash can comment while you're looking for your information.
Well, I'm curious that if Jada is offering, is there another consultant that you'd like us to consider, or
sure.
or is this an additional search firm, or?
It is. I was in a meeting and I was hearing people talking about this, and they were saying this person. Okay, it's called NRG Consulting Group. We build teams. So I just heard wonderful things about it. We build teams, you build movements. And they particularly work with housing. We work with hundreds of missions-driven organizations to place candidates and openings nationwide. At NRG, we place talent where it's needed and quickly. We offer customized options to organizations in need of search services, how we can help for job seekers. I mean, it's just a lot. I can send this to you and you can send it all to the board, but I just would like to look into this at least. Yeah. I'm sorry. I thought that was what was happening, to see if this is an option too.
Let me ask you one question. Do you know what the cost of that consultant is?
I think it was cheaper than what you said Mass Narrow was. I have to look it up. But I'm almost certain, because people were talking about that with monies and sizes they were talking about. They just said they were pretty excellent, well worth it. For job seekers, yes. Services brought the cohesive, coordinated, strategic approach to this work that we were missing. They took the time to get to know the organization, the programming, and the leaders who are charged with making hiring decisions, as well as future colleagues and peer.
I understand. I understand. So Hank has his hand raised.
How about if we handle it like this? I'm not sure exactly where this is in terms of motions and amendments, but once the 5 members, 3 members of the Board of Commissioners and 2 representatives of authorized resident groups, let them make the decision about selection of a consultant.
That makes sense.
That makes sense. I just want to note that we only have 2 volunteers for this board right now to be on the selection committee. We don't have a third, and we will have to find out from the LTOs fairly quickly. And we also don't have any community members. So as long as everybody knows that there's going to be a longer delay, the longer we do this, it's fine. Jeff?
So I'm on the website right now, and they have low cost search 13,000, mid cost search 28,000, high cost search 45,000. So that's above 5,500.
It's more expensive.
We only budgeted 20,000 for the entire search. So I think that would rule out.
Can we? I think that was based on size. But I would like to ask them. Would say, I mean, I'm so used to pleading poverty. That's a normal thing for me.
I understand, Joella, but it's there. I think they're too expensive.
I don't know. We've not contacted them.
Jeff just read the price on the website. There's a motion on the floor to engage Mass Narrow for the executive director search.
Contact them.
You can vote against it. People can vote against it and throw out another motion, but this is the motion on the floor. Can you call the roll, please?
Yes. Chairperson Healy.
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Commissioner Nash.
Yes.
Commissioner Tarbutton Springfield.
No.
Commissioner Wood.
Yes.
Commissioner Obraskin.
Yes.
The motion passes.
Thank you.
Okay. Is there anything else we have to do quickly?
2 more.
12. Okay. A motion on the floor to request by the board to the NHA administration. This is Hank's motion.
Yeah.
A request by the board to the NHA to provide copies of all non-union contracts for the board so that we understand what contracts where the NHA engages with. That's Hank's motion. Is there a second?
I second that.
Great. Any discussion?
May I?
Hank, did you want to speak to the motion?
Speaking to the motion, yes.
Yes.
Yes. I just want to clarify that I did propose that motion, and I want to clarify that this is not in any way suggesting or meaning to suggest that there's anything inappropriate or nothing like that. It's just a matter of learning for the board members, particularly the new ones, about the NHA.
Thank you. Anyone else? Discussion, debate, anything? No. Will you call the roll, please?
I think that's great. I mean, I've never known, I don't know where people have their committees, but I've never known what the contracts were with you. I've never known that. And I think this is good. This is perestroika.
Okay, thanks. Thank you, Commissioner. Could you call the roll, please?
Chairperson Healy.
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Commissioner Nash.
Yes.
And Commissioner Tarbutton Springfield.
Yes.
Commissioner Wood.
Yes.
And Commissioner Obraskin.
Yes.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. The motion passes. The last item is just a discussion on website enhancements. It's very simple. It's something that Sharon and I have talked about upgrading the website. I don't think there's a cost to it, but we would like to see the website be a different, more accessible website with more information for residents. We have some ideas about what to do, but one thing that we did want to ask for are professional photographs of all of you and maybe a 3-sentence bio that we can place on the website. Also, the regs say that we need to identify a way that residents can contact you. We do have the possibility of having an email address through NHA. I know Commissioner Tarbutton has already done this and has recommended it to us, but I would think that that would be a way in which you can keep communication in one place with and not use your private email. So if you have a problem with that, let us know. But I wanted to just open it up to see if there was anything that people thought is important to put on the website, something that you'd like to see change. This is the last item on the agenda, so this is where your creative juices are coming in and thinking
Just
about
a
it.
point or just a question, Patty. So is this something that's going to just start happening immediately? And there's really no budgetary considerations for revising the website?
Well, right now, I had hired an assistant that is really good with websites and computers.
We're sorry. The number you have.
And she's already started updating it. She's updated all the approved minutes. She's
Hello?
You're muted suddenly.
Yeah, for some reason we can't hear you.
When he can't hear you.
Something catastrophic happened.
Was that a cat?
Try again. Try and unmute yourself again.
Yeah, I think my kitty cat Momo stepped in. I think she's telling me this is long enough. Get off of it, Mom. Anyway, so I have, as I was saying, we hired an assistant. She's really good at this. She's been cleaning up the website already. I don't know if anyone's gone under there, looked at it recently, but she has been changing and updating it. So right now, the only cost is what we pay monthly to have the website, because she would be doing most of the changes, putting the summaries of what you guys would give her that you would want to say underneath your picture, etc., and any other ideas that you guys come up with. You could email her. Well, I guess everybody would have to approve. I don't know that I would just want everybody just emailing and making suggestions. It would probably be something that would be a group thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So this is just to open it up for folks who have ideas about what you would like to see on the website. You can talk about it tonight. You can bring it up another time. We don't need a motion to do this. It's just, it needs to happen, and we wanted to open it up for you all.
Can I speak to that? Thank goodness this is here, and thank you for putting. I think this is one of my first agenda items that was here, so I'm giddy. But I think it is very important. I go to to all these other LHAs. I see them having a button you can put to do a work order, a button you can put to put your doggone tags on your thing. We're kind of behind. We're kind of antiquated here. That it is so interactive and so tenant friendly, where it's like, here's the meeting, here's the thing right here, instead of going over and searching for the city hall to get the thing. Everything is there. And actually, one group that I know was really pretty fantastic doing this, Mass Nairo. I went to a workshop with them on it. It's pretty good. I have met Destiny Martinez. She is amazing. She's pretty good, but I'm just saying, make it more state of the art, because some of the stuff is just, and if we ever do this, please do not put a picture on there unless you get don't put my theater picture up there.
Oh,
and
I would never put a picture unless it's approved by all of you. So yeah,
try to get
no worries.
If I could just plead for you to get housing email. Eduardo Cancel did it, because a lot of have different meetings, different stuff that we go through, and let's try to keep this professional too and not personal, because I want my personal stuff separate. Thank you.
Okay, so please send your ideas into Sharon. Any other comments on the website?
Sounds great.
Okay, thank you. We're at the end of our agenda.
Could I'm sorry to interrupt. Could I just ask Mr. Abroskin, what is the map that is on the wall behind him?
Where is it?
That is a map of the country of El Salvador.
El Salvador.
El
Okay.
Salvador, where I have done pretty extensive work over the years.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. May I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn, please.
Second?
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Do we have to do a roll call for adjourn? We don't have
No.
to, do we?
No.
No. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Patty.
Thank you for your patience, everybody.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Nice.